What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Shaak Ti makes the clone troopers pretty good. They're now a middle-of-the-pack team, able to defeat teams like Carth and bounty hunters, even Nightsisters, which really impressed me. I'm going to walk you guys through all that footage, talking about what to expect with fighting against those teams with your clones, who you can switch in and out based on who you're fighting. With Shaak Ti, you are getting one of the fastest characters in the game, fully geared, 179 speed, which is second fastest, tied with Count Dooku and behind TIE Fighter Pilot. That is absurdly fast, and that's really what the clones need. They need someone there who can help get them burst damage out of the gate pretty quickly. And a fast character like Shaak Ti is exactly what they needed for this. Now also, she has a leadership with the Zeta, which you're really going to need for this team, where the clone troopers gain the health and protection, which is attacking out of turn, and that is what's going to allow them to become a very efficient offensive team, especially for Grand Arena. Grand Arena is all about offensive efficiency, so if you can get that full health and protection on your characters and get a solid 60 banners with this team, that is perfect. That's exactly what you want to go for, and Shaak Ti delivers this for your clones, and this is going to make them pretty good. Now you can't use this team against your top end teams like Revan, CLS, Padme, Grievous. They're not going to win against those, but more of your middle teams like Carth, Nightsisters, which is still more high-end, but they are still a pretty solid counter to Nightsisters, which surprised me, and also Kira, bounty hunters, anything on that level, clones can easily decimate them and get a solid 60 banners for you. So I'm going to walk you guys through all of that today, but I do have to say, the gear for Shaak Ti, for the most part, not too bad. A lot of plus speed pieces, which is expected when someone's that fast, but there's one massive roadblock here, and that is 400 Chirotech pieces for her. That is absolutely absurd. CG, I'm not sure what you're going for here. Marquee characters shouldn't be forced with that kind of gear on them. That's very much a whale-friendly piece of gear, not something a lot of people are going to be having to hoard. That's about $100 worth of gear that someone's going to have to buy to gear up Shaak Ti. Not really cool. Now, if you are going to be whaling on Shaak Ti, I recommend you go for the Mega Pack. You really should go for the Mega Pack. It gives you at least 2 to 3 times the number of shards that you would get with the regular pack at only double the price. So overall, it cost me about 2 vaults to take her up to 7 stars, which is about what I was expecting, plus another $100 on her gear. Yeah, it's about $300 to get this character to 7 stars, just so you guys know. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into this offensive footage. So let's start off with the Nightsister team here first. This one is with a Mother Talzin lead. You're going to notice no Nest. We'll talk about Nest later when we're going with bounty hunters. But overall, against a Mother Talzin-led team, actually does pretty well. Once you get the Dispel on Zombie, start focusing on Asajj, get rid of her very quickly. That will allow you to waste the revives on Zombie, and then you can go for characters like Daka and then Mother Talzin. That really gets rid of the capabilities of them resurrecting and reviving characters. So go for those characters first, get rid of them. The tenacity up from Rex is very helpful here with the stuns between Asajj and with Daka. Though, I mean, you're not always going to get it, but if you do have it, it's very helpful here. You're obviously going to get the Dispel with Asajj. You're going to do some turn meter. Use the healing and the reviving to get rid of Plague when needed. Make sure you're constantly getting the taunt and crit immunity on 5s. That's very big here. We'll call the assist with Echo or with Sarge for that target assist, and that will allow him to go ahead and wipe out those characters. So now at this point, we're going to go for Asajj, finish her off here in a moment. And honestly, I was having some trouble here. It was one of the first battles I did. I was still having trouble with the abilities, which one's which. I was getting them mixed up. I should have done the mass assist targeting with 5s, because that gives him the taunt, and that will then allow me to use the single target assist with Sarge or Echo, because that stacks their crit damage, allowing them to do much more damage, and also it would also get the cleanse at the right time against the team. So now we'll go ahead and finish off Nightsister Spirit, and once Spirit is gone, Zombie can no longer resurrect, and that's very easy. Tenacity up and the cleanse with Rex one more time gets rid of the stun from Spirit, and allows me to go ahead and finish off. Look at that, 36,000 with Sarge. And with that, I'm able to go ahead, finish off Nightsister Zombie here, and call it a day. So against the Mother Talzin team, no Nest present. actually does pretty well. Just have to make sure that you time things correctly, make sure that you are using the cleanses and the assists at the right time, don't mess it up like I did, and make sure you're getting that taunt constantly on 5s. So when it goes to fighting against Asajj, I have to say is the more deadly team to fight against, because that constant unresistible turn meter plus a turn meter boost with falling below 100% health, that can cause some problems for this team. I really struggled against an Asajj lead more than I did against some other Towson lead. Asajj is the one you're going to see more often as the lead from Nightsisters on defense, so you do have to keep that in mind. But again here, use the cleanse from Shaak, and I was able to get rid of the stuns on characters, and now I can go ahead and use healing abilities to go ahead and focus on making sure that I can heal up from Plague if I time it correctly, and if I'm not careful here, I'm gonna lose Rex, so I have to be very careful with that, about who I use at the right time. There we go, we have the taunt back on 5s, he's gonna have the crit immunity, but he does have tenacity down one more time, but we will go ahead and take out Asajj here. Look at that. Some nice damage from Sarge, and that's why I use Sarge here over Cody, and that's why I switch out Rex and Cody, because Sarge has really high damage, makes things very consistent for the team, but also the turn meter removal with Sarge can be very helpful here again, just like it was against Mother Towson. So overall, as long as you can time things right and make sure that you don't lose the character like I almost lost Rex there, but you can see that I actually had a couple of characters here with full health and protection. Almost everyone here has full health. I have Shaak Ti here with full protection. So yeah, I wasn't going to get as many banners as I would against the Mother Towson team, but still overall pretty solid. So again, against a Asajj-led team, more difficult for sure. I struggled against this one initially. I have to say, against the Mother Towson lead, it's much easier, but the ability to still clear an Asajj Ventress team with your clone troopers with Shaak Ti as a lead, still there, very possible, and this is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and dive on over into a Carth team, and I'm using Rex here for one very important thing, and that's to make sure I have tenacity up, because that is going to prevent dots from landing on my team, plus getting that crit immunity and taunt on 5s. Without Nest here, there's really not many easy ways for them to cleanse the taunt and crit immunity and the tenacity up off my team. Overall, very easy for this team to win against a Carth team, because you can't get those debuffs. And the AoEs from characters like Canderous Ordo and Carth, I get a lot of counterattacks as well, and those counterattacks with attacking out turn gives the health and protection regeneration on my clones. So this is still going to be another team that can get some pretty solid damage and some really nice healing abilities here. As long as you can prevent those taunts or prevent those dots from laying on your team, you're going to have a really good time. And go back and let's take a look at that real quick. That was actually one of the more fun things I saw, was that we had the attacks from Canderous Ordo. He had 3 attacks, and that allowed him to counter against 2 different targets here. He counters once against Zalbar, and then counters 3 times against Juhani, which I thought was really interesting. I've never really seen that before, but you know, I need to try that more often. But that I thought was a really little fun thing. So constantly getting rid of the taunt and counter on Zalbar will allow you to target Carth and Canderous and use the basic and the AoE. Use the basic from Shaak Ti, AoE from Echo, that gives you some solid dispels here. And plus, remember, the basic from Shaak Ti also gives you offense up, which is a very big deal here. But of course, once again, we have counter. What really, Zalbar is the problem with this team. If you can get Zalbar's taunt off of him, allow you to focus down the other characters, it should be pretty easy. So getting rid of Canderous is really the only problem with, Canderous is really the only threat to this team, because he has tenacity down, which allows him to place dots, which can really affect your team overall. But if you can get rid of those the tenacity down and get rid of Canderous Ordo, you're gonna be able to win pretty easily. So against the Carth team, another really solid team here. Still not getting that full protection regeneration, but everyone here has a lot of health on them, so that's a really nice bonus to have here. Getting rid of Carth, or getting rid of Zalbar, is really the only problem here. He gets that stacking defense, and that is the problem. Eventually, he's going to move, and then that defense is going to reset, and then you can go ahead and finish it off pretty quickly. So, there we go. Zalbar is gone, target Juhani, and Juhani is gone. So, overall, another solid team. get some good protection and healing regeneration, and you can see there at the end, I've got 3 characters at full protection, so that's some nice bonus banners to have as well. So this is another definite Grand Arena option against a Carth team. So we're moving into the final group of teams that I tried against, and that was with Bounty Hunters. I'm going to try a Bosk lead with no Nest present, and then I'm going to try against a non-Zeta Django lead with Nest present, and you guys are going to see there was a pretty solid difference with how the team performed in both areas. With the Zeta on Bosk, you're getting the healing, protection, regeneration on the team with the debuffs that are applied and resisted, but you notice here, I'm able to burst down Boba and Django pretty quickly because my characters are moving faster than Bosk. Remember, I have a lot of good speed on Shaak Ti, and that's also something else you guys are probably wondering about, is when am I going to be doing a modding guide for the Clone Troopers? That will be later on, but for now you can see here, got rid of this Taunt and Frenzy on Bosk, and get rid of the offense up on the team, on the opposing team, and then go ahead, focus down Django, and pretty much from there, focus down Zam, then Bosk, and then take care of Dengar last. But you can see here, Clone Sergeant is the MVP when it comes to damage, and that is what I love about Clone Sergeant. And that's one of the things that people have always been surprised about with this team, is that Clone Sergeant does a lot of damage. You never really expected it, but then you look at his kit, his basic, whenever he lands crits, he gains offense up, and whenever he lands a crit with his basic, he gains 50% turn meter at the same time. He's getting offense up a lot with this kind of team. Now, you can see here, not too good on the protection bars, but still, I was able to clear a boss team, no real problem there. But let's dive into the Django team here with Nest. You're going to see once Nest comes in the equation, it's a whole different story. So again, remember, no Zeta on Django Fett here with his leadership. So I also didn't have Rex on this team. I just really wanted to see what I could do against Enfys Nest. That was the big thing I wanted to go for. You see, wiped out Django pretty quickly. We're just going to see what we can do against Enfys Nest. And Enfys Nest is going to quickly become the bane of my existence with this team. Now, she is modded for, I'm pretty sure, some decent tenacity, also some good protection abilities, but really the problem is, see that Daze there without Rex here? I can't get rid of that Daze, and Daze is a big counter to this team. I can't get the assist, the attacks out of turn, no bonus turn meter on those characters as well because of Daze. That is a problem, and that is something that I found to be a really big drawback against Enfys Nest. So any of the teams I have covered tonight, Nightsisters, Carth, Kira, pretty much any of those teams that have Nest on them, avoid using Clone Troopers. It's a really bad time. You're not going to win. I did have one point where things were set up pretty well for Clone Sergeant, where there was no bonus protection on Enfys Nest, and I had a one shot to get rid of Enfys Nest, and unfortunately it did not work as well as I was hoping, but we'll see here in a second. Right here, you can see that got her exactly where I need her. No bonus protection, Sergeant's ready to move, he's got offense up, so we have him attack, and he only does 30,000 damage, and look at that health left on Enfys Nest. I don't have the Gear 12 Plus pieces for Sergeant yet. Even with those, I'm not sure it was going to work and get rid of Enfys Nest. So this is the problem with Nest. She can get that bonus protection, and really you have no solid damage dealers outside of Sarge and maybe Echo once you get the crit damage stacking up. So really, any of the teams I've covered tonight, if Enfys Nest is present, skip it. Don't use clones against that team if Nest is there. You're just not going to win. She's going to defeat your team. It's going to be a very long, drawn-out battle. You can see here that basically I'm attacking her and just waiting for her to die. I should just throw it on auto. I do throw it on auto eventually, but really it's just, yeah, with her, you're not going to win. Nest is a very hard creature to defeat with clones, because they're all about the burst and the lots of assist, but she's constantly getting that protection up. You can't reduce her max health with this team, so you can't counter that protection regenerate or the bonus protection. So there's really no solid counter for clones as it stands right now. Now maybe in the future, if we get some new clones, fingers crossed, maybe there's to be something there that allows them to defeat Nest, but as it is right now, you're basically throwing damage on Sarge, hoping you get things timed to the right time and get a one-shot on Nest. If you can't do that, you can't win against Nest. So that is the big takeaway for this team, is if you are going to use this, by all means, avoid Nest at all costs. She's just gonna wreck your team. You can see there, defeat. So I was able to get rid of everyone on the team but Nest, and yeah, that's the problem. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video for me, guys. Overall, I like where the clones are at right now. I think they have been vastly improved with the addition of Shaak Ti to the roster. She definitely makes them a much more formidable team. Very good for offensive efficiency. Not really sure on their defensive capabilities yet. We'll see how that goes. But if I had to say yes or no to wailing on her, I'd say no. If you can wail on her, and you want to, go ahead, but she's not a must-have character. She's not like Nest or any other marquee character at her caliber. She's not a must-have that's going to really shut down teams. Shaak Ti just makes clones better, but she's not a top 10 character by any stretch here. So really, as it stands right now, I can't recommend wailing out on her. Go ahead, get her to 3 or 4 stars, gear her up slowly, but take your time. This is not something that you have to rush, because again, she's not something that you have to have right now. Maybe down the road when we get more clones, we'll see, but for now, I can't really recommend wailing out on her and trying to get her upgraded right away. But otherwise, that is going to be it, guys. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited to see clones be good again? I know I am. Still disappointed they're not better, but this is about what I was expecting them to be. Was not expecting them to be some kind of top-end team like Grievous, you know, with those expectations. But anyways, that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys later.